You're listening to episode number 10.
Hi, everyone. This is Rachel.
And this is Christine. Welcome to The Thrive, a podcast for working moms.
And we're talking to all of the moms out there, working from home, working a 9-to-5, working as a CEO of your household, because at the end of the day, all moms are working moms.
And we invite you to share in our stories, celebrate the victories, laugh through the tough times, get advice, and to know that we aren't alone, to thrive in our everyday life.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to today's very special episode. This is episode number 10.
10!
We are just so excited to share with you guys. Today, it's Christine and I.
Hello!
And we are going to be sharing 10 things that we have learned since starting this podcast.
We have a lot more, but we'll limit it to 10. Our top 10.
Before we jump in, we're going to share a couple of our favorite things because I feel like our top 10 could get a little deep.
It might. I almost was, getting all the feels just writing up my ideas. I don't know. Maybe It's just been that kind of week. But favorite thing, my absolute favorite thing for the last, 2 months has been having a student teacher. I've mentioned before that I'm a grade school teacher, and we get the opportunity as teachers to welcome student teachers into our classroom. And I think a lot of teachers do it as a way to say thank you and pay it forward because somebody was a mentor to us when we were in school, in undergrad. And I got to have a student teacher the last several weeks, and she was absolutely amazing. She was such a great addition to the classroom, and I loved having her. I feel like having someone in my classroom made me a better teacher because I knew somebody's eyes were on me the whole time.
And when she was teaching full time, it made your life a little bit easier as well without lesson plans and things for a few weeks.
It was really nice. I got to just take care of some stuff in my classroom, cleaning up, and also helping out some of my colleagues with more management style things. Oh, was it not good? Rachel just had some wine, and I feel like it's questionable.
I don't know.
It's just not her favorite thing.
It tastes a little different than it smelled, and I think can wine be skunked?
Oh, no. We'll stop drinking it right now. Yeah, we'll get you a new bottle.
No, it's okay. I'll still drink it.
Oh, she's a trooper. So anyway, I had that week when she was full-time teaching to help with some other things for my grade level because I feel like I was kind of an all or nothing person. Either I'm going to be the one in front of the classroom directing the day's lessons, or I kind of have to sit back and not interject. I had a hard time with that medium because I wanted to keep saying things as she was teaching, and that wasn't the purpose of her full-time teaching week. So anyway, favorite thing, she was absolutely a joy to have, and I loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, what's your favorite thing?
Well, my favorite thing is not this wine.
Not this one.
I like white wine, just maybe not this one. My favorite thing is actually, I'm such a nerd. I love organizing, and my favorite thing is springtime, just cleaning and organizing room by room. It just makes me feel so much better after it's done. So this week, I actually, since it's been raining all week long, we've been stuck inside, and I have the ability to go through both my girls' closets. Actually, Reagan's isn't really done, but in Rowan's closet, I have tubs of stuff that my sisters have given me, hand-me-downs, things that Reagan has outgrown and now her little sister might fit into. And it was just great, finally getting things organized and putting the clothes that fit in her drawers, the things that don't fit, in the tubs. And this way, too, when my husband dresses her, she'll actually wear things that fit her.
Bonus.
I feel oh my gosh, I feel like I actually folded some things up and put outfits together so that if he sees that matches.
Right? Ready to go.
Yeah, that's the goal. And today I was able to work on my basement, which was amazing.
It looks so good.
Yeah, we have a finished basement, but it can be a mess sometimes. And when we have our small group, all the kids just trash it, and that's fine as long as they're occupied and we can get through our, our Bible study. That's great. But it was nice to actually get down there and vacuum up all the goldfish and
oh, that's where that thing is.
Yeah, and I actually moved some furniture around, and I took down the pony-sized dog crate that we've had down there forever because our dog he's not crated anymore.
Yeah.
So getting rid of the dog crate, collapsing it, putting that in storage was just great. Made so much space, and I feel much better about my life now.
And even as you're saying that you move stuff around because now you have small group down there and more children are using it, I feel like sometimes organization needs come up because you're in a different season of life. So even now that your dog doesn't need crated, it was time to move that out of the space and make it fit better for where your family is now. Yeah,
because the only people using the crate were the kids, like trapping each other in it.
Maybe you should put that away.
Yeah, there have been many times I've come down to the basement because poor Rowan is like in the dog crate. And I mean, she climbs in there. They think it's so much fun to climb in. But then a bigger kid locks them in and forgets. And so it was great to clean things up.
Story for another day. That reminds me when I was in 8th grade and one of my friends got stuck in a locker.
What? Did like a mean person?
No, she went in and I closed the door and that locker was broken and so it got stuck. Now I was not so tiny. I did not fit in the locker. No, I was like, oh, I'll close this. But I wanted to go get help. So I kind of saved the day, but kind of got in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, that is a tangent. We don't need to go down. So that's your favorite thing, organizing. I love that. Shout out to Mara, our organizing girl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mara's so great. She's professional. She's like on another level. But
we're in the minor leagues, but we're trying.
Yeah, I just like getting my house organized, and I feel like it's fun too to like stumble across old stuff or like funny things,
like food.
Yeah, or like old trophies or just the stuff she told us people keep. I'm a hoarder,
and she told us to get rid of.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just fun too, like as your kids grow, like getting toys out that they can play with now. And for me, like I kept some stuff from when I was a kid. So it's fun. Like now my girls are playing with Polly Pockets. I mean, Rowan probably shouldn't be, but we don't let her have the little pieces.
Reagan told me that today, that Rowan shouldn't have the Polly Pockets. She's like, keep this away. Okay.
Yep. But it's fun getting your old stuff out and like they're actually interested and like able to play with things that I played with now.
Keep it fresh.
Oh yeah. Penn State Barbie.
Stop, seriously?
Yeah, Penn State Barbie out. And so
Penn State will get their stuff on everything.
Yeah, we have Penn State Barbie and we have Baywatch Barbie. She calls her Pam. So Pam is Pam plays with like the horses.
Oh my god,
she's really into horses. So yeah, so that's like the next phase: Polly Pockets and Barbies. And
Baywatch has the horses on the beach, right?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yep,
I love it. So our top 10 things Rachel and I were just thinking about, because this is our episode number 10. 10 things that we have learned either through actually on this podcast or in our own lives through the process of this beginning. Probably over 2 months ago? How long?
Yeah, it's been like a journey now. It's been about 2 months of like regular episodes. And it's probably been about 3 months since we like got this idea and like tried to get things organized. And I feel like the thing I love about you is that once you said like you were in, there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, that's a cool idea. I'd love to do that. And then like you never hear from them again. But you were immediately like, yeah, let's do it. And like the next day, like you were texting me ideas and we're like, so what should we do? Like which app should we use? Like, and it was great because then it made me want to do the same thing. So,
well, I'm glad that you reciprocate that, because I know you are full-time working on your computer and you're probably sometimes like, okay, I need to get work done. But you're just so welcoming of my excitement and just teaching me along the way. So that's been great for me too. So
number one kind of leads into what we were just mentioning. I've just really learned that 2 different people can work on something together and be successful. So different being your either interest or family, where you've come from. Rachel, stop drinking the wine. I know. I'm so sorry. I just feel like I need to finish my glass.
You do not. Actually, I'm going to move it away from you.
Yeah, take it away. Every time I take a sip,
she grimaces. And
she's just like a little sour.
Okay, so stop. You don't have to finish your plate.
Stopping.
This is like,
stopping.
Yeah. This is a fun place to be. You don't have to keep drinking that nasty wine. So 2 different people can work together. And I've really seen that in Rachel and I, because we are 2 different people. We have 2 different ways of operating. If you've listened to our podcast, you know that Rachel might not be on time for things, and I am, and that she is so into all the technology, and I am not. And we just have different skill sets. We have different things that we're good at and things that we both need help with. And in this case, it's very obvious to me that God has put us together for a reason, because we fill in things for each other that we couldn't do on our own. And that makes it even easier for me to welcome suggestions from you, because I know that we're just doing this together and have made such a good partnership. But I think part of that is because we both have been really open to being able to learn from each other and know that it's a good thing that we're different. And from that, good things are going to happen. So that's been a big thing I've learned.
Well, that's so awesome. Thank you for saying all that.
I told you all the feels here in our top 10.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, for real though. We keep saying for real a lot. It's really getting real today.
Really. Number 2. What have you learned?
So my number 2 is just something that like over the past few months, I feel like since meeting you really. So as you get older, I think friendships change. And for me, like becoming a mom, when I first became a mom, a lot of my friends were still single. I didn't really have a connection like with other moms. And so the moms group through our church was just so beneficial for me and getting connected. And just a couple months ago, I don't even remember like where I heard this. It was like something funny on Facebook, but it was real. And since that's our theme, it was real. I can't get rid of that word. But it really stuck out to me. It was an analogy for friendship. And it talked about how friendship is kind of like a tree. So there are people that might come into your life there's people that you might have like family or people that you've known for a long time that are sort of like your roots and they help keep you grounded. But as you grow, you might have somebody that you meet at some point in your life and, maybe they're more like a branch. And sometimes a branch can keep growing and maybe that branch will grow and it can become deeper and become like a root. Mm-hmm. And maybe you have some toxic relationships that you thought were your roots, but they went bad and they're not roots anymore. And it said, some friends, it's okay to realize that some friends are like leaves. Some friends are friends for a season. And I just realized since becoming a mom, it was this journey of like, okay, who are going to be who are my roots? Because as much as I loved all of my single friends and, I love my family, but I just feel like this 20s to 30s age is there are a lot of changes. And I feel like, maybe you're going through something similar, just trying to figure out like, things have changed a lot over the past few years. I've gotten married. Maybe you've moved. Maybe you've relocated because of your husband's job or something like that. I actually have a friend that's going to be moving and she always jokes that like she's not an introvert or she's not an extrovert. She's very introverted. And she has just expressed some fears that like, I'm in my mid-30s. Like I'm nervous about like making friends all over again. Like
that can be really difficult.
Yeah. So I just felt like this analogy was so great because I have had some people that like when I first became a mom, they were so helpful and they were really great. And I felt a little guilty when I realized like I don't really spend so much time with them anymore. But I realized like, God put them in my life for a reason and maybe they were a leaf. Maybe they haven't lasted and it's not for any bad reason, but maybe they were just part of my life for a season, just like a leaf. And then when the seasons change, maybe somebody that was, a branch in your life has taken up more of your time. I don't know. It was just that whole, like seeing the picture. Maybe I'm just very visual, but it made me feel so good about, you don't have to feel guilty about maybe not being as close with some people. And, think of a tree. Like there's people that maybe you meet later in life that quickly grow into something more. And I kind of felt like that with you. Like I felt like when we first met, it was through like a small group. And a lot of times people you meet from a small group, it's great. You can have those deeper conversations with them, especially in a Bible study, you might talk about some deeper topics. But yeah, sometimes things change. You start a new book and people leave the group and, things don't really go any further. So a lot of times those people are leaves. But it's been so great to realize this year that like you can invest time in the things that are going to benefit you. You don't have to invest time in toxic relationships. And just that whole visual, like it really stood out to me. And I had this conversation with somebody recently because she felt very guilty about a friendship that just sort of faded. And I talked to her about it and she's like, oh my gosh, like, and I think makes sense.
A good thing of what you said also is that it's okay if your leaves blow away or a branch stops growing. It's okay if some friendships don't continue or are just there for a season. That's okay. And it's a good thing to grow and change. It doesn't mean you did something wrong or somebody else did. It's just the way life is.
Yeah.
Even if that's hard to take sometimes, but it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So something that I've just been learning, and I would say even more so since starting the podcast, not necessarily since becoming a mom, but just that I'm not going to do everything right. I'm not going to be the best at everything. And I have a little bit of a competitive spirit in me. Sometimes that is coming to light. Rachel,
a little
bit. But I think part of it is just my personality that comes through in my profession as a teacher. I'm used to having to be the one who has all the answers and is able to control a room of 25 children of different needs, different abilities, different attention spans. So I have to be in control and have an answer for everything right away. And that's part of who I am. But in something like this, hosting a podcast, trying to create a community, launching hopefully my own successful event planning business, that's something I don't know about. And I'm having to learn to be okay that I don't know all the answers. And sometimes I'm going to do something wrong or make a mistake or not be the best at something. And it has to be okay. I can't continue to want to be the one with all the answers. But it's harder for me. That's not my natural inclination. I don't know where that comes from. I've not always been a super driven person. But I don't know. Since I think being a mom, I want to do things well. And even with my daughter, knowing that sometimes she's not going to be the quickest mover, the fastest talker, but that's okay. She's who she is. She's right where she needs to be. And the same thing is true for me.
You need to do the, did you do the Enneagram yet?
I did, I think, but I don't.
I wonder if any of that like is personality or if it's just, I think sometimes our surroundings play a big part. Yeah. And this whole social media thing makes you want things to look perfect. Yeah. Because but I also have things look perfect.
I have a need to be very like authentic in my Instagram. So I want to do it right where it looks good. But I also am very real to how life is. I just want it to look aesthetically pleasing, but it can be a messy kitchen.
And life isn't always aesthetically pleasing.
No, it's not. So number 4, Rachel.
So number 4, I have learned that it's totally okay to make time for yourself.
Amen.
I feel like especially since my girls are both young and close in age and they're a little crazy sometimes, I just really got sucked into the whole like, I'm a mom. That's what I do. Can't go anywhere. My kids.
Yeah.
But also because my husband, he works a lot. I love him. And he just, bless his heart, I think he's going to be really good with both of the girls once they're a little older. He's already really great with Reagan, but sometimes it's just tough with Rowan. She doesn't talk yet. She's still in that little like 1-year-old phase. Yeah. And
he's not with her all day, so he doesn't know her as well as you do.
So sometimes I would just feel really guilty. Like I had a lot of mom guilt if I ever left them or if I ever like had a girls' night. And I've learned that, it's okay to do that. And I think we've communicated about it. And he's realized that, like, to be a good mom and to be a good wife, like, I need to have some time to myself. So, we've found a balance. And that's something that I've definitely learned since doing this because we make time to record each week. And, sometimes it can be late. I might not come home until 10 or 11. And he's okay with that. And that's good because it's, good for me to have time. And it's good for him to have some time to himself, too. Yeah, there's always a balance. So it's good that you're communicating about that. So what are we at? Number 5? Number 5. So I may not get everything right, but number 5 is that I can learn new things. And this probably goes against my natural inclinations just to maybe give up when some things get hard. My husband always teases me if I'm looking something up online or if he's asked me, hey, can you search for this answer? Google this. And after about 5 minutes, he'll look over at me and say, did you give up? And I'm like, yeah, I did. Just because I resigned myself to the fact that I'm not good at Googling things. But really, who says that? Is that a skill?
I don't know.
I'm really good at Googling
But
things.
I just seem to not always be able to find the answer. So the fact that I've been really pursuing this new business venture to me is a really big deal because it is so foreign to me. But like I just mentioned, I am starting my own event planning business out of my love for organization planning and just helping people find joy and abundance in events, in occasions, things that they love. And I'm really excited about it, but it's totally different than my normal career, my normal life that I've had up until now. But I'm just excited about the fact that I'm loving to learn something new, something totally outside myself. And I'm really having to push myself to find answers in places that I don't always maybe look for. Even being able to meet with a SCORE mentor downtown. They have that business mentorship program where I just emailed the SCORE people. I don't even know where their office is, but I did it because I want to have answers and I want to be able to do this well. And so
it's kind of like stepping out of your comfort zone.
Oh my goodness. I'm running out of my comfort zone, but I'm excited about it. So I'm definitely learning that I can do new things.
That is awesome. And I think that's something that, like, if you're listening to this, even if this is your first time listening, you're like, who are these crazy people? If you could take away one thing, I want you to know you can do new things, whether you're young or you're old. This is a message I want to give to my mom sometimes when she's like, I'm fed up with technology. Yeah. Sometimes I want to be like, Mom, like, I always tell her, like, you're not going to die that soon. You can't just give up. Like, Grandma, okay, she doesn't need an iPhone. Like, I mean, I love her, but her health is not great. She doesn't need to worry about that. But Mom, you have grandchildren. You're going to be here for a long time. You need to upgrade your phone. Right. They're not even going to make yours anymore.
And there's that whole attitude like you have, because you have to, of learning new programs, learning new companies, of just having a desire to learn and try something new and knowing where to go for answers. Your mom obviously has you as a resource. So
that is true.
That's such a big part of it.
I just downloaded the podcast app for her so that she can listen.
Get it, Mom.
I don't know if she's figured it out yet, but if you're listening, Mom, let me know.
You have the capability. Give us a shout out once you hear this episode.
Thanks, Patty. So, what number are we on?
6.
Number 6. Oh, that's me. I have, it's okay to not be in control of everything.
And
sort of a little bit of what you've been talking about. For me, because I am like a social media marketer, because that is my business. I design websites. Sometimes, especially doing this with Christine, who's admitted she's not as tech savvy, sometimes it's a little hard for me to be like, okay, you do this, I'll do this. I can be like a total control freak sometimes. And I just have had to accept that, like, Christine wants to learn. She's really quick to learn things. And I can't take on too much. Like, if I'm taking on too many projects or, you know, trying to control too many things, I'm not going to be good at any of them. So it's been so helpful to have somebody that's like organized and, you know, wanting to do things and catching on so fast that I can say, like, why don't you start doing this or that or whatever. And like you said, we just kind of balance each other out. And like, this has helped me to, outside of this, I have learned that, you know, in my business, I have learned that it's okay to say, I'm not that great at that, but I know who is. So I have a friend that does graphic design, and, you know, I used to like waste time trying to like please people and help them with their logos or help them with, you know, whatever. Yeah. And I don't do that anymore because I don't like to come up with things like original things. Like, I love making a website and making your brand look beautiful, but I am not the person to go to if you don't have a brand, if you don't even have a logo. So I have started subcontracting a lot of work to my friend Kelly. Shout out Kelly Whalen. She's just great. That's what she does. Fun. She is really fun too.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, and she can easily come up with something from scratch, which I just can't. And I realize too that when you try to control too much, it can be a waste of your time. So I feel like the quality of my work has gotten better because I can tell my clients, you know what, I can get to my graphic designer and see what they can come up with, and it not only makes me sound more well-rounded as a business person. But yeah, it's great because then I can focus on their website and she can focus on the graphics and the logos. And then when we put it all together, it's just better.
That happens to be what Jenna Kutcher has talked about in her recent podcast.
Really?
She's talked about subcontracting work, but also how to know when and who to hire to help your business. And part of what she was just sharing, I was listening to it today, was she was really encouraging people to think about either what they feel like they're not giving their time to, or what are they working on that's annoying them, or that feels like they're taking them away from other things. And I just even felt that probably can be true of my own life at home as a wife and a mom. Like, what am I not enjoying? What can I try to get help with? What are the things that I do enjoy and want to do them myself? It's all about really just knowing kind of where you need to put your time and your energy into.
Hashtag super fan.
Oh,
we do love Jenna.
I'm digging for my goals.
Oh my gosh. She's like our goal guest. Maybe she'll be on our show one day. Like, she talks about having Joanna Gaines on her show.
She's our goal. She's a busy lady, but we can get to her people.
You can Skype her in.
I think her name is Caitlin, her assistant.
Christine would know.
She had a whole episode about it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. But that's really true. I find that it's not just things that annoy me, but things that when you run your own business, you have to figure out, like, okay, time is money. So am I billing my clients for the right amount of work and the right amount of time? Or did I quote them that something would cost X amount, but since this isn't really my expertise, I spent way too much time on it.
Right.
So that's kind of how graphic design was for me. I was like, why am I wasting my time? Like, when they could get something better and I could make more money and I could also support like somebody else as a subcontractor if I have them do the work. So
it does make you a more well-rounded businesswoman. So it ended up being probably a lot more beneficial, financially sound for you than you even realized at the beginning.
Yeah, it's been great. And then it's nice too to be confident when somebody asks you, like, could you do this? Could you, whatever. I used to be like, well, like, how much, work are you looking at? What do you have? Like, what are we starting with? And now I could just be like, yeah, we could start from scratch. Like, I know a designer that, I work with. And so, yeah. That's my own personal.
That's exciting. And that's a cool place, I feel like, to be in your business. You just really know your skill set, and you have this team around you that you can get for help and support.
Yeah. So shout out to Kelly. She's in my mastermind group, and it's been great too to have just the small group of women in my mastermind. There's a couple others that I've also used as resources for various projects, and yeah, it's been great.
You have really nice nails. I was just looking at yours. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh. I'm just like an observant person. Your nails just look really healthy.
Oh, well, I still take my prenatal vitamins.
That's probably why.
Just for hairs and nails.
All the hairs on your head. They look great too.
Do you want to grow your business with social media and connect with other local mompreneurs and businesswomen?
If so, we invite you to join us for our first Marketing Made Simple workshop, June 21st at Copper Cup in Lancaster, presented by Christine Campbell Events.
If coming up with social media content feels overwhelming for you or your business, this workshop is designed for you. My goal is to help you create a full content calendar and a social media plan so that posting is easy and you have more time to focus on growing your business. I'll show you how to maximize your content so that you can drive more traffic to your website and increase your brand awareness.
Rachel will be joined by Mara Clemens of More Space Organizing, who will be sharing tips for making your home office more functional and creating a stress-free home. We'll also be facilitating a time of networking so you can meet other local moms. To sign up, visit rachelkleincreative.com/workshops. We hope to see you there. Okay, number 7, something that I have learned since starting this podcast, probably just because I've been talking to my mom about it and the things that we're working on. I've learned that my mom did a really good job at being a mom. Aww. I feel like because I've been more reflective on my momming and things that are hard or things that I'm excited about. And it just makes me think back more to my childhood and to what my mom did and how she raised my brother and I. And shout out to my mom if she's listening to this and knows how to find this podcast. She just did an absolutely amazing job. And I love how involved she was with my brother and I, just how supportive she was. She was home with us until I was in 5th grade. And then she started to work part-time while we were at school. But she was just so involved in my life. She knew all of my friends. She knew my teachers. And a lot of that comes from just her willingness to listen to me blab on and on. And I hope that I can do that with Nora someday. But I love just, being able to reflect on her role as my mom and be at a place now where I appreciate it on like a whole other level. So,
oh, that's so special.
Good job, Mom. I love you.
Aw.
Our moms both have to listen to this.
Yeah, they do. I feel like that really is something that, like, until you become a mom, you don't always appreciate, like, just those little things. And I remember growing up, I don't want to like hijack your number 7, but I didn't know that was on your list.
Jump on it. Come on.
I remember as a kid, I was a very strong-willed child, and my mother would say things when she got very frustrated with me, like, and God bless her, she must have been so patient.
Kindergarten teacher. Yes,
she is a kindergarten teacher, so yeah. But I remember her saying things like, I hope one day you get a child just like you.
How's that working out for you, Rachel?
Well, 26 years later, Reagan came into my life.
She's a cute version of you.
Oh my goodness, she is a little spitfire. And sometimes I'm like, thanks, Mom. Thanks for saying that. Karma. I don't know what it is. But it's just been so funny to be in the opposite position and see how things are different, but considering I was a very strong-willed child and now I have a strong-willed child, I think I can probably relate a little bit more than for my mom. It was difficult because we have just such opposite personalities. I think especially too because I was the youngest and my older siblings were very compliant and just good listeners. She was probably like, what is going on? Like,
what's happening with this third daughter of mine?
Like, why does she want to break all the rules? And I don't know. It's been great to be on the opposite side, and it makes you appreciate them so much more.
Like, our moms did a great job.
Yeah, really. Like, I had some rough years that I know my mom just prayed and prayed and prayed for me, and
look at how things worked out.
Yeah, but it's been crazy. There's a few things she never told me until I got older. One of them, this is a big tangent, but one of the biggest things in my life was this broken engagement I had about 6 years ago now. I had been engaged to my college sweetheart, and it was not meant to be. It wasn't. And in hindsight, I see that. But at the time, that was my world. And things had been a little rough, and we were doing like our premarital counseling and whatever. And it just got to that point where I didn't really know what direction it was going to go. We already had deposits down. The wedding was like only a few months away. Mm-hmm. And my mom did not tell me this until years later, but she weekly, since I was a kid, she meets with my next door neighbor. They're like BFF. And they like pray together, like for their kids, just for whatever's going on, for family.
That's so great.
And she told me the night before my ex and I had broken up, she had prayed with her best friend, if this isn't meant to be, give her a sign or make something happen so that her heart is not further broken. Like, the last thing she wanted was for me to go through with something and end up divorced or whatever, which happens. So many young people nowadays. So, oh my gosh, it kind of gave me like goosebumps when she told me about it.
Yeah.
Because literally, like, she said they had met like that evening, and like the next day I, came home bawling. I was actually at a friend's house when things happened, and it was by, over the phone. It was over the phone. Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. So, man, hindsight is 20/20.
Answered prayers though for your mama.
Yeah, like, thank you, moms.
Yeah.
It's just something I hope that like my own kids never even go through. But how crazy that like God works in crazy ways.
Yeah, and your mom was just right there with you, and she felt in her heart maybe where things were supposed to go, and she knew that the right thing to do was just to pray for you vigorously. And
so yeah, pray for your kids.
Pray for your kids. So number 8, Rachel.
I'll keep this one short. Number 8 is you can be more productive with less time.
How appropriate.
That's one of the things I have learned since starting a podcast. Things have been busy. I've gotten busier. My business has been busier. And I used to really stress and feel like I had to sit down and start working at a certain time. And I tried to block it out. And I tried to make sure that I scheduled it so that it would happen. And with 2 kids, it just doesn't always happen. Right. So I have learned that if I can just plan ahead what I need to get done, if I can stay really focused on my priorities and I can make a list of, okay, X, Y, and Z has to happen today, it doesn't seem to matter if I have 4 hours or 1 hour. If I have 4 hours, I'll take 4 hours to do those things on my list. But somehow if I have 1 hour, I can get the same 4 things done. It's like, I don't know if it's just, I work better under pressure, but I think a lot of people that have their own schedules realize this. And I read a statistic recently. They say like, your most important tasks or something only take like 20% of your time. It was like...
I could see that.
Yeah, it was like a crazy like workplace statistic. I want to say it might have been shared by like Inspire Business Community. I might have read it, like somebody might have shared an article.
I could see because you're so focused on those 2 things. Like if you're, okay, I need to get this done. Like you're saying, in that hour, here's my list. I'm going to do it. And you're able just to plow through and not get distracted by other things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I've realized that. So I don't stress so much if I'm like, you know what? It's 3 o'clock. I haven't done any work yet. I know that even if my girls' naps only overlap for 1 hour, that's the hour that I have. So I'm going to do what I need to do.
That's good.
So number 9.
Number 9, body image issues. So, not issues, celebration. And this all came from when Rachel and I were at this past Inspire Business Communities event, and it was out at the Lampeter Cafe in the Livery. Beautiful little space.
Very pretty.
It was just gorgeous inside, the setup. Loved it. I sat down in a chair and I thought, oh, these chairs are made for someone with a smaller butt than mine. Because the chairs
and mine.
the kind where they're like a wrought ironish kind of feel, and around the chair
it's like kind of curved.
I don't know how to
curved for a small butt.
Yes, it was not. I mean, there weren't 90-degree angles there. And so I just was like trying to sit on the edge of the chair, and it kept me having like a really good posture. But I'm sure some of you can relate, whether it is because of having a baby or just going through different seasons of your life when your body changes, either heavier or smaller than you might have expected. But my body has definitely changed a lot since having a baby. I think I kind of fell off the wagon with the eating while I was pregnant unintentionally.
But you look great.
Here we are. Thank you. And that's just been something that I've been really having to come to terms with in the last 10 months, is just my new normal for this current season of my life, and it has to be okay. And sometimes I'm going to be somewhere where maybe I don't fit on a chair as well as everybody else, and that's going to have to be okay. At my work, there are mirrors a lot. The mirrors in the students' bathrooms are right in the hallway, kind of where there's common sinks. And there's just this row of mirrors that I feel like is not very becoming. And so I've just decided not to look in those mirrors, because when I walk by them, it's just not the best look for me. Sometimes the lighting is weird, or like...
And there are some like better mirrors.
There are totally better mirrors.
Make you look fat, and some you're like, ooh, is this the dressing room? Some mirrors make you look good.
I used to talk to my best friend about this, where we would say at home, our makeup looks great. We're like, okay, it's going to be a good day. And we get to work and you use the restroom there. You look in the mirror there and it's not the same. And you're like, I just left my house 10 minutes ago. How did my makeup change? But something I'm just having to learn is to accept where I am at this moment, the way I look. This is my life. This is a body that gave birth to a beautiful daughter that my husband thinks is beautiful, and that has to be okay. And the fact that maybe I sit on a chair and it's a little uncomfortable does not define my worth or my value. It does not mean that I'm less than anybody else or more than anybody else. It just means that my butt doesn't fit on the chair. And
I love this. You're going to make me get like teary-eyed.
All the feels. I told you, because that is still a struggle, and it's going to still be a struggle. And there are moments that pop up during the day where the size of my stomach just is becoming apparent, the way I, can't maneuver things, or I'm winded when I get up the stairs, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to, run 2 miles in the evening, and now I can't, but I can get back there.
Yeah. You can learn new things.
I can learn new things.
Number 5.
I can relearn things I knew at one point. So anyway, that is what I've learned. That's number 9. Rachel?
I think that one is just so true for everybody that's had kids, anyone that's body has changed.
I know. It's a huge part of, I think, especially women's lives, our culture. So much is defined by that. It's just all around us. But I'm really trying to work on reframing it in my own mind, and small victories, like being able to wear a pair of pants that I like and feel good in, or this cute sweater from Old Navy that I wear almost every day because I like it. So,
but honestly, when we talked with Mara, that was so helpful, I think, for both of us, because we've both been in this season of like holding on to things that like we want to squeeze back into, or like, I don't know. And it was just kind of freeing when someone said, and someone that has experience with this, to say, look, like, it's okay to just get rid of those things.
Right.
I don't know why. Sometimes it's like you need someone to give you permission.
Yep.
And it was so freeing to me to just be like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of these things. Like, I don't need this tight BB dress that I used to go out in. It was like a size 6.
I was gonna
why do I have this?
I was gonna say sometimes you can still keep them, but I think a BB dress, maybe we want to let go of that.
Yeah, it's like that like bandage style. It was when I lived in New Jersey.
But Christine never wore those things. I've just always been a little bit chubbier, and I don't think that was my cup of tea. But
I don't feel like you were ever chubby.
I gotta show you the pics, girl.
Well,
man, oh days. It's okay though. It was cute. I love it. So anyway,
Number 10.
Number
10 is happy husband, happy life. They say happy wife, happy life, but that is not the case.
Happy husband.
Because we can suck it up and make things happen. And I love my husband. This is nothing against men, but they do not have the ability to multitask like we do. And things can really just maybe set them off, or if they're in a grumpy mood. At least in our family, I find that my husband can easily set the tone if he has a rough day at work or whatever. And I have just learned that, you still have to keep your marriage a priority no matter how busy you get, no matter how much, your business is taking off or how much you need a girls' night. You still need to consider your hubby. And for me, it has just been great for us to, constantly communicate on what we're working on and what we're doing. And we even made a chore chart.
That's good. I love that you mentioned that to me the other day. I feel like that's a really cool thing that you were able to sit down and do together, because sometimes the things in your marriage and your home life that are causing a big stress or a big stressor can have a simple fix. Something let's just talk about this. What are our expectations?
I think as women, when you're arguing with your husband, it's easy if you're the one that likes things to be a certain way around your home, it's easy for your hubby to be like, well, stop nagging me about it. Right. And it's easy to get into that habit of like being a little passive aggressive. So I was like, let's just put everything out there. Like, what would you like me to do more of around the house? And I have a list of things that I've been waiting to tell you I'd like you to do more of around the house. But let's
share.
Yeah. And it was, things around the house, things that he would just prefer that I would help him with each week, or, favors, things we could do to help each other have a better week. So,
That's good.
It was as easy as like, I would like every morning if you would check to see if the garbage is full. I hate waking up to a full garbage can and I see that he dumped his coffee grounds in it. So I know that he saw it. It's like,
this is
just
getting
empty
her
it.
a little bit riled up. I hear you.
But he's been checking now. See, this is why we made the list.
We have very supportive husbands, and I think, like we've talked about a lot, it's just really good communication, which can be hard sometimes. Yeah. It can be a little tense sometimes, but...
And it's not always good in our house. Like, things, we have fights. Like, we argue about things.
Robert and I have disagreements. I tell him they're not fights, but we disagree about that fact.
That's so funny. No, we definitely will duke it out sometimes. But just the other day, Kyle mentioned, like, I kind of feel like something happened, like, around the 3-year, like, mark. He's like, I feel like, we realized, like, we both just needed to, like, make a couple changes. Because I think we were both very stubborn type of people. So when we first got married, it was just a lot of take and not a lot of give.
Right.
So
that takes time to learn.
Yeah, it does.
But kudos to you.
So that's my number 10. That is our top 10 list. And I hope that you guys have been able to relate to this in some way. And I hope that maybe through listening or just through this season of your life that you've learned some things too.
Yeah. And we would love to hear from you if there's something specifically that you've learned or just a moment in your life over the last few weeks or months since listening to this podcast. Share it with us at the hashtag Thrive Top 10, number 10. We would love to be able to celebrate that with you, join in with whatever is going on in your life, just be a part of our community. So
that's hashtag Thrive Top 10.
And if you haven't already, join our email list. You can find that by going to rachelkleincreative.com/The
Thrive Podcast. Or simply click on the link in our Instagram bio and click on the sign up. And if you subscribe to our email list in the next couple of weeks, we are excited to be hosting a 1K giveaway. That's not $1,000, unfortunately, but it is to celebrate 1,000 downloads.
Dun, 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 dun.
So we're super excited to be reaching that. You guys have been awesome in helping us reach our goals and to grow this community. So if you have gain something from listening to the show, if we have made you laugh or encouraged you, we would just love to hear from you. Write us a review, sign up for the list to be entered in the contest, and have an awesome week, guys.
And thanks, mamas, for joining us. In case no one told you yet today, you're doing amazing. Hey, moms, we would love to have you join our growing community. Visit us on Instagram at The Thrive Podcast, leave a comment, and let us know what you think. For podcast-only content and promotions, we also invite you to join the Thrive community and sign up for our email list. Visit rachelkleincreative.com/The Thrive Podcast.
If you've been listening or you've already subscribed with iTunes, we would absolutely love for you to write us a review. Positive reviews help us increase our listener base and continue hosting amazing women on the show each month. For more info, you can follow me at Rachel Klein Creative and Christine at The Whistler Company on Instagram.